Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of What's Going On at ClubFred. This is Thursday, July 19th. This is my 13th day of refeeding since my fabulous 75-day water fasting adventure. Please allow me to introduce you to my breakfast today. This is bacon omelette with cream cheese, heavy cream, cheddar, rapini, spinach, salmon, blue cheese, dill pickle, avocado, bacon, and homemade meatballs with Dijon mustard, homemade kimchi, sauerkraut, lemon water, homemade salad dressing, olive oil, lemon juice, Dijon mustard, mayonnaise, blue cheese, apple cider vinegar, homemade salad with romaine, broccoli, cauliflower, celery, cucumber, cottage cheese, cheddar, pumpkin seeds, egg, coffee with whipped cream, and a little bit of whiskey. So there you have it. There's my breakfast today. Chopsticks. I'm not bad with them, but I don't do them the way you're supposed to, but that's true of most things in my life. Anyway, this is kimchi. I made it myself. This is not the good stuff that I have in the fridge. This is the stuff that I made with all the outside leaves that weren't attached to anything. I chopped them up. It's certainly not the most attractive. I have a little bit of footage to shoot yet, and then I can finish editing my making kimchi video. And when I do, I'll put a link up here. Anyway, it just seems like you can't eat kimchi with a fork. That just would be kind of wrong. I believe that the Koreans eat kimchi with every meal, and the reason, it's for boosting your microbiome, your digestive system, because there's live fermentation, there's live bacteria. These are a probiotic. And I'm learning a lot more about microbiome than I have during my fast. And I realize that a lot of the magic of weight loss is dependent on our microbiome. That's why fasting is so good for you, because you're starving out the bad bacteria, and even most specifically yeast dies. There's nothing for it to eat. There's no sugars. But the good bacteria in your gut is going to survive in a dormant state even, and the bad is going to die. And they say that your immune system rests in your microbiome. And if you think about that, and if it's true, and you starve out the bad bacteria and you reset your microbiome, you also reset your actual immune system. And then when you go back to eating, your body is now processing food differently than it ever did before. Sauerkraut. Could you imagine eating sauerkraut with chopsticks in Germany? I also have a big quantity of sauerkraut I'm making right now, and I've also got footage of making that, and I will also post a link up here when it's ready, when my video is ready. This sauerkraut is store-bought in a jar from a shelf, non-refrigerated. And in order for them to can it, to process it, it's pasteurized. And pasteurization is basically heating food to a high enough temperature to kill any bacteria. So the sauerkraut that I'm making right now is different than this. It will be a lot healthier. It will be like the kimchi because it will have microbacteria, probiotics in it, and this does not. However, what this does have, this is pre-digested, basically. It's really good for you, and it's good for your digestive system in your stomach. And it's just yummy, and another layer of flavor that I can add to my breakfast, my meal. You can call it breakfast because it's my first meal of the day, and it is a breakfast. Wow. That is a lot of food. I wholeheartedly agree, but I have some good news, something to reveal to you now. A recent development that shows me I might be on the right track. Well, last video I divulged that I lost my status in Wonderland, and I actually weighed, I think, 200.8 pounds. And I made a little bit of drama about it, like, oh my god, I lost weight. But really, honestly, I took a little bit of artistic license. I don't want to gain weight, I want to maintain my weight, and I would prefer to find a balance in my eating regimen where I'm actually going to be losing weight. I have been very forthright. I have been very accurate and honest in my reporting, and the results I'm achieving. Look at that homemade meatball with Dijon. And I'm eating entirely differently now than I ever was before. I've always, like most people, been suspect high-fat foods. So I've tried to minimize the fats in my food choices and leaning heavily on a small measured quantity of protein, very low fat, and a lot of vegetables, and now a lot of meat, a lot of cheese, a lot of eggs, heavy cream, cream cheese, whipped cream in my coffee even. This coffee, oh my gosh, and a little bit of whiskey. And I whipped up my heavy cream and put whipped cream in it. Oh my god. So in another one of my videos, I readily admit I said that the reason I got fat is I ate too much. It's obvious that I potentially have a predisposition to overeating, that I have a food addiction, that I want to consume more than I need to, that I desire to have a different sensation than what might be healthy as far as being satiated. So when I talked about the fact that I crossed over into the 200s, and by the way, I really appreciate everybody's comments on my videos and just for watching. And I read them all and I respond to most of them. Some of you were quick to point out that it's simply a matter of volume and that I'm eating too much. And and that might be true, because that obviously is one of the obvious suspects of the problem. In my last video, the 7 mistresses of keto, I'll put a link up here, I discussed the volume of my eating, but I also discussed the status of being in ketosis. So here is my basic thinking about my diet. So far, it's day 13 after a 75-day fabulous water fasting adventure. You want to know more about that? Check it out here. But I decided that what I want to do first is to ensure that I maintain my ketosis status in my body, which maximizes my fat burning. Because if I was going to target the volume of my food, then I would actually be looking at the amount of calories I'm consuming. And the easiest way, the initially fastest way to address that is simply cut out all the fats. Stop using butter in my food and for cooking and frying. Stop using any oils in my dressings and everything. Cut out all the cheese and dairy and heavy cream, and so that and cheddar and cream cheese. Take it all out and just eat boiled eggs and some lean chicken breast and salad with a vinaigrette dressing. And I could easily cut my calories in half. So this whole one meal a day concept and high fat, low carb is really something to wrap my brain around. And therefore, I determined that the best approach for me is not necessarily to worry about volume as much as ensuring that I get myself back into keto. And the way that I wanted to do that, and in my analysis of what I was eating, I was consuming some sugar. I was putting sugar in the form of strawberry jam into my homemade dressing for my salad, and I was eating a lot of salad. At first I thought 1 tablespoon of strawberry jam in a container of dressing that I don't even consume all of it in one day is not necessarily a big deal, but it's sugar, and it changes. Sugar is the biggest enemy of ketosis. Raisins and green apple both have natural sugars in them, and I liked to put that in my salad. Onions and carrots are definite enemies when it comes to minimizing the amount of carbs. The amount of carbs I want to consume is less than 20 in a day. So the good news is already yesterday I was halfway through implementing some of those changes. I wasn't full on because yesterday I still had some good news actually that from the day before. I didn't eat all of that food. I put some of it away. So I ate some of that yesterday, and it still had some raisins and green apple and carrots. I changed out, but not as much because the quantity was a lot less of those leftovers. And also I threw that other homemade dressing away with the strawberry jam in it. 7 hours after I ate, when I tested my urine, I was already in moderate ketosis, which up until this point, I was almost losing my ketosis until the morning. Again, after my full sleep, full on fast, where I would see a mild to moderate ketosis return. But 7 hours after I ate yesterday, I was already seeing a moderate ketosis. And this morning I was leaning towards the heavier side of ketosis. Just between moderate and a little bit more. And I weighed myself, and I'm back in Wonderland. Yay! So I weighed myself, and today I am 199 pounds. So that slight change already, targeting that keto status in my body, seems to be paying dividends. So today, the main difference in my food is as much as possible, I have eliminated the 7 mistresses of keto that might pull my temple down. The offender. I do have 1 tablespoon of pumpkin seeds in my salad, but otherwise I didn't consume any almonds. I don't have any sesame seeds. I didn't put any raisins in my salad. I have no carrots. I have no onions. And I definitely don't have any strawberry jam in my dressing. Today's dressing I made with it's a blue cheese dressing. So I made it with lemon juice, olive oil, apple cider vinegar, mayonnaise, Dijon mustard, and some blue cheese with some oregano and some basil It's a little bit thin, but it's good. And I always combine that by putting a little bit of cottage cheese in my salad. I like that. Today's salad is definitely not quite as colorful and as beautiful, and certainly not quite as well enjoyed as the way I prefer to make my salad, but it's fine. Look at that. Avocado, salmon, and blue cheese. It's a little bit of a mukbang video, right? So today, as far as I know, I have eliminated all the carbs that I'm aware of, except this omelet I made 3 days ago. It has some onion and some cherry tomatoes, but not very many. Well, I'm already really full, so I'm thinking that the volume issue might just take care of itself. Let's have a look. This is what's left right now, and I am so full. I've probably been eating for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and I'm taking longer because I'm talking to you guys while I'm eating. I'm going to eat a little bit more, and then I'll probably just put the rest away in the fridge. So let's recap. I fasted for 75 days, water only, no food. I took supplements. It's now 13 days later. Yesterday, I lost my Wonderland status. I hit a weight in the 200s again. This morning, I'm back down to 199 pounds. That is only 6.6 pounds more than my lowest fasting weight of 192.4. But I've been choosing high fat, low carb, and I've been doing OMAD, 1 meal a day, fasting for 23 hours, eating for 1 hour. Immediately after reintroducing food to my body, I jumped up to 199 pounds. And I knew I would. I knew I was going to go 6 to 8 pounds more just by introducing food and having some food weight in my body, and the rest of it being a water weight adjustment. So what I'm doing is not that stupid. My weight gain was up and down for the last 13 days. Up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit, down a little bit, and playing inside of 6.6 pounds. Yesterday's weight, when I was into the 200s, was only 1 more pound. So it was still even inside of the 6 to 8 pounds that I suspected that I would gain. I have not been concerned about the volume of food that I'm eating because while it might be too much, it is not sabotaging anything that I've done. And my immediate priority in my intuitive planning about what I'm doing with this second phase of my health quest and weight loss and maintenance program is simply to ensure that I'm doing everything I can, first of all, to be in ketosis, which is a fat-burning state. And then beyond that, I can tweak my quantities. I would sooner start with too many calories than not enough, especially after 75 days of fasting, I think it was more important to refortify my body and make sure that I am restoring myself back to maximum health before worrying about continued weight loss. So my plan was find the point of balance, of maintenance, and then go from there. And if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't have changed a single thing, because for so long, 75 days is 2.5 months, I was thinking and dreaming about food, and I had desires to eat things that I've never thought about before. Like when you watch my break fast video, and I'll link it here, I ate sardines, and I never eat sardines. I have eaten sardines in my life, but I never craved fish. So one of the reasons that I wanted to have such a variety on my plate is because I had all of these urges to eat all kinds of different foods. So I just wanted a little bit of those tastes on my plate. And prior to ending my fast, I was filling my freezer and my fridge. I had more food than a person ever needs to stock up on. But I just wanted to eat all this food, and it wasn't like I felt like I could eat a whole house. Of course I couldn't. But I just wanted all of these tastes, and I wanted them all at the same time. So that's why I put all of these things together, and I have, like my daughter mentioned to me, Emily Wilson FitFam on YouTube. She's a very successful YouTuber. Check her out. I'll post a link to her channel in the comments below. She noted that she wouldn't want to eat the kind of foods that I eat, and she doesn't desire the extreme taste. Black olives, capers, blue cheese, salmon, and then all the creams like cream cheese and heavy cream and kimchi and sauerkraut. But I wouldn't change a thing. I'm so pleased with everything I've done, and I've done it intuitively, just as I did my entire fast. I did it this way. I did it like this. Like, guys, I'm not a kid anymore, right? I'm 56 years old. I've collected a little bit of wisdom in my life, and I like to think that, and I hope it's true. So during my fast, all I said is, I think it's important to keep it open-ended. Don't set a hard goal that is going to impair your judgment on staying in tune with your body and reading your vital signs and reading how you're doing, how you're really doing. Let's say you set a goal of 21 days or whatever it is, but you start feeling like crap, but you don't want to abandon your fast because you're afraid that you're going to fail. Well, look, every hour, every day, every week of your fast is a success. These are not easy things to do. It's the easiest hard thing I ever did, but it's still not an easy thing to do. A lot of people have a hard time with it. But anyway, so by using your intuition and by being in tune with your body and making sure that you know yourself and that you're meeting your own needs and you're loving yourself and you're nurturing your needs and you're taking care of yourself, you can move forward. Don't worry about labels and rules. Set your own rules based on your own needs. Ultimately, you're not trying to fast for 21 days or 40 days or 6 days or 4 days or 100 hours or 48 hours. That's not the goal. Think about the purpose. The purpose is health. And one step back from that is weight loss. You don't just want to lose weight. You want to be healthy. Right? Why are you fasting? Oh, I want to lose weight. Really? Okay. Maybe because we want to lose weight, because we want to look good. We look better when we're not fat. But ultimately, it's because we want to be healthy. And when we're healthy, we feel better and we look better. So weight loss brings us to the ultimate goal of health, right? Because at the end of the day, no matter what else we have in our lives, our most important asset is ourselves, is our body. It's our vessel. So we need to take care of our bodies. So what I'm saying here is that my intuition guided me to making the choices that I made to satisfy my psychological cravings for food, what I desired in my brain, which some of it may have been guided by my physiological needs, my body telling my brain somehow, or guiding my thoughts what I need. So I satisfied my cravings, what I wanted in my mind's eye, and even the volume, while I was fortifying my body, which was what my body needed to regain some strength, because I felt a little bit weak. You will feel weak when you do some fasting, which is normal. My intuition told me, yeah, of course, I feel a bit weak because I'm not eating food. I mean, this is not, like, I'm not a scientist. I can't explain all the physiological responses to fasting, and even I can't explain ketosis properly, and I don't know much about blood sugars, and I don't know all of those things, and it's not my thing. I'm not going to study it, and I'll never be able to relate it properly. If you want those things, that kind of knowledge, and if you want to be able to impart that and study that, go to Dr. Jason Fung. And there's lots of people on YouTube that talk about that stuff. That's not my thing. I know about it. I'm aware of it. But I'm never going to have all of that to lay out for you. So I wouldn't change a thing. It's been good. It's been very good. I am very happy. I haven't been concerned about the volume of food I'm eating. There's a lot of fat in it. And as I said, if I wanted to drop the calories, I would just, the very first thing I would do is eliminate all the fats. So learning about ketosis is, it's very counterintuitive to everything I've ever done before with weight loss. And it's easy to look at what I've done here and the amount of food that I've so beautifully plated and displayed for you proudly and say, oh, Fred, you're eating too much. Well, really? Really? Can you tell me, please, how many calories I'm eating? And can you also tell me, please, how many calories a 200-pound man burns in a day, generally, and therefore needs to consume every day just to maintain their weight? Because that was what I was trying to do. And if you look at the amount of food that I've displayed for you, and you divided that up into 3 portions and said, this is 3 meals, or even 4, 3 meals and a snack, breakfast, lunch, supper, and a snack, those would be pretty small meals. And they would be all very healthy choices if you were making those choices anywhere. And that's why it's a mind warp, because for me, those assembling this kind of repertoire is not intuitive. So keto first, volume second, my inclination already seems to be proving true because I'm back down into 199. And ironically, and I think perhaps a side benefit to being in ketosis and being in more of a fat burning mode, is my appetite is less. Because now I have not eaten half of this food, and this is not the most food that I've ever laid out in these last 13 days, specifically in the last, let's say, 6 or 7 days. And I was alarmed a little bit. It seemed a little bit alarming how much food I could eat, but I wasn't really worried. If I was worried, I have enough self-discipline to stop. The long and the short of it is I just didn't want to. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And as always, love yourself, stay safe, and be awesome. So I'm 2.5 days into my long fast. I am today in my 4th day of a long-term water fast. That is only 6 points.